The Elidir Trail snakes its way from the village of Pont-Nedd-Fechan, where we started our walk, and the upper car park at Pont Melinfach is spectacular, with endless waterfalls, cascades, and plenty of beautiful woodland. Well, I met up with my good friend John Scriven, and come and join us both on the trail together. And we've got a special detour to the lesser known Sgwd Einion Gam. The total walk was approximately 6 miles, including our detour to Sgwd Einion Gam. The trail conditions across the entire walk are good. The section between Pont-Nedd-Fechan and Sgwd Gwladus is the flattest and smoothest of the trail underfoot. The detour we did off the marked route to see Sgwd Einion Gam, this section is far more difficult. It requires going off trail and navigating a couple of river crossings which can be very slippery. So we started our walk at Pont-Nedd-Fechan through the signposted gate behind the Angel pub. Immediately the trail gives us nature at its best. Beautiful woodland, the river, the cascades, nature's wonderful sounds adding to the spectacular views. After only a few minutes we stopped, worked our way down to the river's edge to take some photos. Access to the river's edge was a lot easier due to the lower water levels. It gave us opportunities to safely access areas that would usually be difficult or inaccessible. We then continued along the trail, following the river, crossing the footbridge and then heading left up to the first of the falls, Sgwd Gwladus. It is busy, plenty of people swimming, others walking behind the fall, some just chilling on the riverbank, but we knew this was our best chance to capture some photos, as it would only get busier by the time we returned later. So we just chilled out for a while, took it all in, and waited for an opportunity for a few shots. At this point, after only jokingly mentioning it to John, we decided to head up to the not-so-secret waterfall, but one which is not marked on the trail or tourist information. Sgwd Einion Gam, it's only a 0.6 of a mile up the river, but it can take a while as it needs to be explored with plenty of care. Heading up the steep bank at the right side of Sgwd Gwladus, we quickly came to the top of the fall, and there were some beautiful views looking down over the top. Following the path through the trees alongside the river, after a few minutes the path stops by a huge gorge wall. This is the point of the first river crossing. John managed to get across to the other side with dry feet, but with my balance skills being that of Bambi and ice, I decided just to tread through the water, still taking care as the pebbles on the riverbed were very slippery in places. After only a couple of 100 meters, we had to cross the river for the second time, rejoining the main path. The path gets a bit sketchy. There's a narrow, steep path with a sheer drop, which goes up and then eventually back down further up the river. Although we did this path, I think next time I'd prefer just to walk up the river. We could then hear the wonderful sound of the waterfall, and then it just popped into view. What a beautiful view it was. Sgwd Einion Gam consists of 2 layers. There's the lower cascades and then the main fall. The main fall of Sgwd Einion Gam stands at 70 foot and it is the second highest waterfall in South Wales. We captured some photos at the lower cascades before going up the short but steep and slippery bank along the right hand edge to arrive at the main falls. Sgwd Einion Gam is the most spectacular. It flows into a tall mossy gorge and I think has to be one of the most atmospheric waterfalls in the Brecon Beacons. We retraced our steps back to Sgwd Gwladus, and then when approaching the wooden bridge we bared left and followed the trail upwards through the woodland, keeping the river on our right hand side. This stretch was sensational. As we climbed up the trail we had amazing views down to the river and the numerous cascades. We arrived at Sgwd Ddwli Horseshoe Falls, which was quite busy with people again, so we climbed down the bank and came back on ourselves following the exposed river bedrock, looking for another photo opportunity. We then followed the riverbed up from Sgwd Ddwli to the lower cascades of Sgwd Ddwli Isaf. This stretch of river bedrock can be very slippery, so proceed with caution. The lower cascades are beautiful, and while John headed up to the actual main fall, I spent some time capturing the cascades and the shapes and patterns made by extending the exposure time to capture the flowing bubbles and froth. We retraced our steps back to Sgwd Ddwli, the Horseshoe Falls, and rejoined the main track, which headed again upwards, looking down on Sgwd Ddwli Isaf as we climbed up towards our final fall of the day, which has to be one of my favourites, Sgwd Ddwli Isaf. The lighting today was really harsh, but what we'd witnessed was spectacular, with the sunlight pushing through the trees, then hitting the spray from the waterfall, providing us with wonderful beams of light. It was time to head back to Pont Nevechen. It was a beautiful hot day, but this walk gives you plenty of shade from the sun due to the wonderful woodland setting. It was a wonderful day out, a wonderful trail. We were out about 7 hours in total. If you haven't been there, give it a visit, you won't be disappointed. Thank you to my mate John Scriven for a great day out. If you haven't seen John's channel, please give it a look. It's called Adrenaline Pit Stop. Thank you for watching.